Good morning everybody. In previous class we will discuss about the introduction, then occurrence and electronic configuration of G16 elements. But in this class learn the atomic and physical properties of G16 elements. We know we are going to study the elements of 16, 17 and 18 group of elements. Out of that, the G16 elements, its atomic and physical properties. In this heading, we are going to discuss the number of questions carries 2 marks for the board pattern. So first question is atomic and ionic radii, atomic and ionic radii of G16 elements carries 2 marks. You would require only 4 points. What is the question? Explain atomic and ionic radii of G16 elements. What is the radii? Radii, that is radius. You know the radius of the circle. How to calculate the radius of the circle? In any circle, the center point of that circle and any point of that the periphery. That is the radius of circle. But here we have to require the radius of atom. Radius of atom. In any atom, this is the nucleus, central part, and around that the number of cells can be occurs. Likewise that number of cells. So this is the structure of atom. So what about the radius of atom? Radius. The distance between center of nuclei. The distance between center of nuclei to the any point on last cell of that atom of element is called as atomic radius. What is atomic radius? The distance between center of nuclei to the any point on the last cell of that atom is called as atomic radius. So how to discuss the atomic radii and ionic radii of G16 elements? What is the trend in periodic table? So this is the definition of atomic radii. The distance between center of nucleus or center of nuclei, the distance between center of nuclei to the any point on last cell of atom in element is called as atomic radius. So this is the definition of atomic radius. Then what is the trend? Atomic radius of G16 elements. The atomic radii of G16 element is increases down the group. Atomic radii of G16 element increases down the group. Increases down group from oxygen to polonium. Atomic and ionic radii of G16 element increases down the group from oxygen to polonium. Why? Reason. It is due to increase in number of quantum cells. from top to bottom, oxygen to polonium, number of quantum cells can be increases. Therefore, the atomic and ionic radii increases of the 16 elements from top to bottom. Like suppose this is oxygen, selenium, oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. These are the elements. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. And here atomic and ionic radii can increases from top to bottom. Increases from top to bottom. In the table, these are elements. Then atomic radii, ionic radii, atomic and ionic radii of the 16 element can be increases from top to bottom. The atomic radii of oxygen is 66 picometer. The atomic radii of oxygen is 66 picometer and atomic radii of sulfur is 104. 104, that is more than oxygen. 66, then 104, then 117, then 137 of the tellurium, and last is the 146. 146. So this is the atomic radii of the 16 element from oxygen to polonium that can be increases from 66 to 146. Likewise, that ionic radii of the 16 element also increases. That is, the ionic radii of oxygen is 140 picometer. Ionic radii of oxygen is 140 picometer. Then 184. Then 196. 184, 196, 221. 221 picometer and last of the 230 picometer. Like to the atomic radii, ionic radii also increases from top to bottom or down the groove from oxygen to polonium. What is the reason? Because from top to bottom the number of quantum cells can be increases, but along the period from left to right, across period from left to right, atomic and ionic radii decreases. So what is explained? Along the periods, whenever we can go from left to right along the periods, across the periods, then atomic and ionic radii decreases. Why it decreases? It is due to increase in atomic number, and increase in nuclear charge, increase in effective nuclear charge. So this is question. Whenever asked for the 2 marks, explain atomic and ionic radii of G16. First point, give the definition of atomic radii. Second point, the trend means to what? Atomic and ionic radii increases down the group from oxygen to polonium. Then gives the reason why it is due to increase in number of quantum cells. Then third point, across the period from left to right, atomic and ionic radii decreases. Why it decreases? The reason, it is due to increase in atomic number, and increase in effective nuclear charge. After these points, then draw the table and give these figures from top to bottom of each element, that is oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. So this is the first question. atomic and ionic radii. Then see the next question for 2 marks. Of G16 elements belongs the periodic properties or physical properties. Next question is the ionization enthalpy. Ionization enthalpy. Short, it is IE value. Ionization enthalpy. So first of all, see what about the ionization enthalpy? The amount of energy or enthalpy required to remove electrons from successive cells around the nucleus is called as ionization enthalpy. We know the structure of atom. In that atoms, this is the nucleus, and around that number of cells can be occurs. In each cells, electrons can be obtained. These electrons can be removed. It requires the energy or enthalpy, that is called as ionization enthalpy. So see the definition: the amount of energy required to remove or release electrons from different cells around nucleus in atom is called as ionization enthalpy. Shortly, IE value. So what is the trend of ionization enthalpy in periodic table? First, the IE value of all G16 elements, possess high. This is what? The ionization enthalpy values of all G16 elements is the high. But what is the trend? The IE value of G16 elements, decreases down the group from oxygen to polonium. Why it is decreases? Which is the reason behind it? The ionization enthalpy of G16 element decreases from top to bottom. It is due to increase in atomic size. We know the atomic size increases from top to bottom. Therefore, ionization enthalpy decreases. It is due to increase in atomic size. From top to bottom, atomic size increases, therefore ionization enthalpy decreases. But across the period, whenever we can move from left to right along the period, then ionization enthalpy increases. Across the period, IE value increases. Across the period, IE value increases. It is due to increase in nuclear charge. The nuclear charge increases from left to right along the periods. Therefore, the ionization enthalpy value also increases. But actual the periods along the group, it becomes decreases. So what about the actual chart? of that ionization enthalpy. Elements IE value of each elements in G16 element. In G16, first is the oxygen, then sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. So what about the ionization enthalpy strengths? Ionization enthalpy of oxygen is 1314 kilojoule per mole. Kilojoule per mole. Then ionization enthalpy of sulfur is 1000 kilojoule per mole. This to what? The ionization enthalpy of sulfur is less than that of the oxygen. Oxygen having the 1314, but sulfur having the 1000. Then ionization enthalpy of selenium is 941. Then 869 of the tellurium, and last 813 of the polonium. This trend can shows the ionization enthalpies decreases from oxygen to polonium. From oxygen to polonium, ionization enthalpy is decreases. So these are the two questions of physical properties of the G16 element. First is the atomic and ionic radii, and second is the ionization enthalpy.